Thanks, Mark. Good evening. My name is Chivi, VP of TACTICA. Thank you for inviting me to this exciting conference. Let's get started. All CEOs in Asia, in Europe and America, and all over the world, if you read in their annual reports, they all say one important thing. We want to increase shareholders' value. They will say this every year, they will say it year after year. What is increased shareholders' value? If you are a listed company, it is very simple. That's earning per share. Improve your bottom lines. What is my earning per share? If you are a CEO, I'm sure you care about your company. I'm sure you care about change management. I'm sure you're serious about quality and all that. But let me just tell you, I don't care if this tool is called e-commerce, I-commerce or G-commerce. As long as it makes me look good like superstar in the AGM and make sure that I deliver the promised earning per share, I'm going to give you the budget to buy two of that, right? That's why we are here. Let's go a little bit deeper. Let's talk about procurement. When I started working in procurement and supply chain 20 years ago, all my mates want to be doctors, engineers, CEOs, sales VP maybe, but none of them put up their hands and say, I want to be a buyer. My colleague here, Sammy, he's a sales guy, right? Glamorous guy. I'm not trying to put down this profession because I'm in this profession, but I'm just trying to tell you a fact. What is the typical profile of a procurement person? They're worried about day-to-day activities. What are day-to-day activities? That's procurement, purchase orders, the delivery of goods, what are the payment terms, why my internal customers are not happy. These are what we call tactical issues. That was 50s, 60s and 70s. Then we move on to the 90s. That was when I started my career. There was a time when we started talking about strategic sourcing instead of the tactical stuff. It's kind of a fancy terms, right? For example, if you are buying copper wires inside a model, procurement will worry about when the copper wire is going to be delivered to the plants. Can I knock off 1% from the price for these shipments? What about strategic sourcing? It is about events. It is about commodity categories. Should I buy from Japan? Should I qualify new suppliers from Korea? Should I hedge the raw material? Should I sign a 1-year contract or a 6-month contract? Again, I'm just making a very generalized statement here. What I'm saying is that it is important that you have these capabilities in-house. When I talk to the CPOs, the Chief Procurement Officers and the CEOs, they say to me, I'm willing to buy your tools and I'm willing to use it. But eventually, you've got to make sure that you build this knowledge into my people. I don't want to pay you consulting fees for the next 10 years. So let's drill down to a little bit more deeper. Strategic sourcing and the holy grail. Lowering total cost plus reducing supply risk equal to the improvement of bottom line and better customer experience. Lowering total cost plus reducing supply risk equals to improved bottom line and better customer experience. Look, I'm not trying to insult your intelligence here by putting up a simple slide like this, but it really comes down to this. This is what our company trying to do, lowering total cost and reducing risk. I don't think there are a lot of you here are in the procurement functions, right? Here in this room today. But I can tell you with those big companies that I work with, these are the GE of the world, the Kodak of the world, we are seeing chief procurement officer, we are seeing chief profitability officers. These chief procurement officers, they're carrying numbers. They also make a lot of money, just like the sales guy. How they make these big bucks? They're saying to the company, if I'm going to help you save 5% of this year's total spend, how much do I get out of this? Now, that's glamorous job. That's important job. And it is tangible, right? I'm coming back. I just came back from a conference in Atlanta two months ago. And I'm telling you, this tool is being widely used. It is not necessary from TACTICA, the tool itself, cutting costs in purchasing instead of cutting people. That's how you can be better, right? If you take out most of the slides and leave one slide, this is the one. This is the slide that will make your CEO and CFO look good. You get your CEO to come and see you and show him this, right? This is the slide. This is my revenue, this is my tax, and this is my gross profits. If I can address 30% of my spend and I save 20% out of that 30% spend, this will equate to roughly 45% improvement on earning per share. That is tangible things, right? That's tangible things. Numbers do not cheat. Many years ago, I used to work as consultants. The deliverable after 6 months engagement was a 200 pages of report, right? A presentation this thick, 40-50 pages long. Tell you what, this is not good enough. When time is good, everyone makes money. The consultant make money. Time is different now. This is why I switch gear, I guess. If you ask a CEO to give you money to spend on a tool, they're going to say this to you. If I give you $1, how much are you going to give me back? What is my ROI, return of investment? How quick can you give me that ROI? Can you guarantee me that? If you have a tool like this and it can give you great ROI, you better go and buy 10 of that. Next slide, please. 10 years ago, a lot of companies said that they could help you with procurement. What they do is to help you to reduce the purchasing expense. The purchasing expense. My fellow friends and colleagues, the ERPs, the SCMs, whatever ABC automation solution, they will help you to manage the purchasing expense, the cost to manage your order processing, your expediting, and your invoices. If you think about it, the purchasing expense is going to be, what, $5 million? Even if you save as much as 90% of that, it is still very little. What you really want to address is the spend itself, the 500 million annual spend. Next slide, please. Okay, let's come back to this strategic sourcing. It all sounds good, but my friend here, a very senior purchasing leader from Procter & Gamble, used to say this: strategic sourcing is not for the timid. Execution is very, very important. I'm sure some of you also have this book by Larry Bossitti called Executions, right? Your CEO can have great visions, your CFO can have many new initiatives, but without execution, it's nothing, it's crap, right? There are just one nice banners and slogans in your factories. There are many things that slow your sourcing executions. One thing that will really slow your executions is this: understand your spend. There's no visibility. It's very easy for me to stand here to say to you that let's address the 50% of the category of things that you buy. Let's be honest, in many big companies, a lot of famous companies, very, very few people understand and have complete data about their spend. You talk about resources and skills, information about suppliers and markets, how much your price hike over the last 1 year, everything you do, everything that we do, we've got to think numbers, guys. How do we approach it? I can talk about other companies and other solutions. I cannot talk about other companies and other solutions. First, software and tech. Let's talk about how we address this. Firstly, software and technologies are important. You need to have that. We are partly a technology companies as well, but technology alone cannot help you. I will not tell you how technology is going to help you, because I think that's only 30% of the work. Now with this on-demand and cloud computing thing, it's going to be probably reduced to 10%. The important things are services and information. Not everything you buy has an index, guys. If you buy steel, you buy copper, and maybe coffee beans. There are London Metal Exchange, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, the Shanghai Exchange, and whatnot. But not everything that you buy, you actually know the market price. You think you know. Why? Because I asked 3 people. I talked to 4 vendors. I'm the best buyers. Honest to God, last month, my wife bought a handbag for $800 from Las Vegas. And my friend said to her, "You're kidding. They're selling it at $1,004 in Hong Kong." Who's going to tell you you are a really good buyer? You really know the market price. That's the information piece. What about the service piece? You're going to work with your internal customers to write a more strategic RFQ and RFP, think through how you should structure your deals to make it more interesting to your vendors. That's services. So there are 3 pieces that make up what we sell. If you want some case studies, come to me and I can send you lots of examples. But how our customers do it, how they actually fund these projects, where they get the money to pay for our solutions. We are not the cheapest in the market, but we have great ROI. The ROI that we give to our customers is 15 to 1 on average over the past 5 years period that we track. Remember? Execution. That's numbers. That's tangible. That's bottom line. That's how procurement department going to be elevated. Of course, you got to have talented people, good people, motivated people, people that can execute to drive this. But it is also important to work with companies that has done it before. Then you can get your earning to per shares impact. Let's talk about executions and adoptions. Look, this is not new. This strategic sourcing tool, we have helped to run thousands of major sourcing projects over the past 5 years. But I can understand change is difficult. Why? Because I'm comfortable with my current way of doing things. I hate to change. I always go to shopping in the same place. When you go back and talk to your procurement people, there is resistance, trust me. But you have to understand, this eSourcing tool, and guys, this is a very, very important message. When you go back and talk to your procurement people, right, you will face, but you could face resistance, but you could explain to them, right? This tool is only one of the tools in your sourcing toolbox. It doesn't replace your entire toolbox. What your other toolbox are? Tools. What are your other tools in your toolbox? Your negotiation skills, your strategic relationship with your suppliers, your supplier improvement programs and all that. Now, why are you resisting this? Resistance comes from fear. That's why we think it is important to get yourself or your purchasing people exposed to these tools. If they like it, use it. It is not the tool that's going to replace them. And this is only my personal opinion. If you don't agree, it's okay. If you have a team of buyers, they're great people. Some of them are very strategic thinking, some of them are not. But they have huge power to influence who to buy from and who to work with. Who are their counterparts? Their counterparts are the salespeople, the good-looking, smart, sweet-talk guys. How many sales guys are going to say to your buyer, man, you're a lousy buyer. Since you don't know how to negotiate, I'm going to drop another 10% for you. Sounds silly? That's only in your dream. This is what the sales guys will say to your buyer. You are good, man. I'm going to lose money doing business with you this round. You really know how to negotiate. You're so good. If one guy is telling me this, I'm not going to believe it. But if 10 guys telling me this same message for 10 years, believe me, right? You're going to believe it. If 10 guys telling me you're not fat, you are strong, believe me, after 10 years, I'm going to believe what they say. It is conditioning. It is the truth. Every buyer in the world is conditioned by their suppliers. If you don't agree, that's okay. Look, I'm not saying that it is a bad thing, just that it is true. This is just the way it is. So it is about market price, right? What is a fair market price? That's about market visibility. That's why we need eSourcing tool. It's a tool that can reduce the conditioning effect in the shortest time possible. It is not about technology, guys. Next slide, please. Now, this is how we position the sourcing solutions. This is how we see it in a macro way, right? Customer Relationship Management, CRM. Just remember this. CRM takes care of your top line, your revenues. It helps you to get the top line results. Then you have the ERP in the middle, the SAP, the Oracles and so on. The ERP will get you the back office operation. Make sure your internal processes are running smoothly. The keyword is internal. They're not for you integrate with your supplier. And next, the last piece is, this is the space that we are in, the SCM piece, the supply chain management piece. It is an important piece. We worry about the bottom line, your bottom line. This is my 2 minutes, so I'm going to talk about TACTICA very fast. TACTICA eSourcing solutions help companies of all sizes reduce the cost and streamline sourcing processes. By itself, technology will not get you there. We have a hybrid solutions, the technology with the services. We've got to enable you guys, help your company to rapidly improve your purchasing power and realizing the hard dollar savings in terms of 10 to 20% savings on average. Well, we started in 2004 and we've been through the internet bubble, the Asia economic crisis, and the recent economic tsunami, and we're still here. And here is a case study of one of our customers with an ROI of 18 to 1. This is how strategic sourcing impact their bottom line. $150 million of spend was successfully and strategically source annually. They give them a good ROI and they have a good story to tell. Why? Because their CPO thinks like a CFO. It's about earning per share. He thinks about total cost of ownership, improvement over total assets employed. Yes, I agree. This is our way of calculating. This is our formula. But you know what? This is how you should go to your senior management and show them this kind of thing. You got to show them, run some pilot projects like what Nike is saying. Just do it. They're going to say one thing to me. So, I'll say it before you ask. Not everything can be bidden online. Not everything can be auctioned online. Over the years, our average penetration rate on customer spend is about 20%. Every company will have some type of spend that cannot be touched. Either because we have a 15 years relationship with a particular vendor, I have a sole source commodity, or other internal reasons. Not everything can be done online. But there has to be something that you can put through the sourcing process that you can cut costs from. As mentioned at the beginning, by just putting in 30% of your spend through this process, you are going to generate 45% improvement on earning per share. Great impact. Great impact considering the little effort that you have to put in. I have to say that these are our opinions and we're very frank about what we think, what we share with our customers. I just want to challenge all of you here to think about what strategic sourcing means in your company. Think about the tangible savings. Think about the elevation of your procurement functions. Think about this challenging time and the bottom line. Thank you very much and appreciate your time.